Greetings, planet Earth. I have returned to read funny, interesting, creative horror stories on the internet. It's been a while since I've done a reading stream. Last time I was reading through the gigantic classic Paper Mario fan fiction known as Paper Mario: The Temple of the Sun. And because of how much of an endeavor it was to read the whole thing, I took a long extended reading break. But I'm back to read more stories again. Hello, Shy Guy. How's it going? I hope you're doing good. But yeah, so we're reading Creepypastas again. It's been a while, like I think a year since I've read Creepypastas on stream. um, and yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, content warning. These stories will have scary stuff in it. There may even be blood and spookiness. The first story we're gonna read is called A Close Encounter with the Tails Doll, which is I believe a classic creepypasta story. I've seen the story's name a few times. I don't remember much about what actually happens in it. And the article for the story has a wonderful drawing of Tails doll soaked in blood, which is beautiful. Content warning for that, I suppose. But yeah, let me get into the stream right now. Hey, here I am. I'm doing okay. Yesterday I was just not feeling the best. Yeah, I saw that on the server. Yeah, I hope you're doing better. Sorry, I hope you're doing better, man. It could be rough sometimes. Um, but yeah, let's start reading. A Close Encounter with the Tails Doll. I love this artwork. Whoever drew this, you did a good job. um. Alright, let me get some water before I truly start. Let me know if the music is too loud. I could turn it down a bit. Alright, let's get started. It is fine? Awesome. One late afternoon, I invited some of my friends to play Sonic R. As we turned on the Sega Saturn, we were excited for our racing tournament. As we were at the character select screen, I chose the Tails doll for humor. Most of my friends were laughing as they chose Metal Sonic, Metal Knuckles, Mega Sonic, and Super Sonic. It's like the funniest shit ever. Bro, you choose Tails doll? Bruh. Later, I won all the races since I was am expert at this game. Good. We realized time flew by, so my friends left. What the fuck, dude? You're too good at this game. It's not fun anymore. You know what? Sonic R Racing Tournament when? Would love to play that game online. Yeah. Well, this guy is kind of old school right here. He invited his friends over to play the game on the Sega Saturn. You know this guy is serious business when it comes to this game. I still felt like playing video games, so I inserted my Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing disc into my PlayStation 3. What? Why is there a gap? What? Is that how is that? No, the gap is just like that. What? It is spooky. PlayStation 3 is a scary console. Me and my friends played a few races online, and a message popped up to my screen coming from a user called Tails Doll. I opened it, and it said, "Thank you." For what? I sent him a message back to this user. Tails Doll then sent another message saying, "You won first place with the Tails Doll. I was watching you." Oh no. I got freaked out for a second, thinking something was watching over us as we were playing Sonic R. Another message from Tails Doll saying, "Can you feel the sunshine?" And sent me a friend request, but I didn't accept it because I didn't even know who this guy is. Okay, this author is actually smart. Good job. This is how PS3 hackers get into your account. Yeah, they just roleplay as a character from a ancient racing game. I sent all my friends a message saying, "Did you see anybody watching us? Because I got sent a message from a user called Tailstall saying he watched me win first place with the Tailstall." My friends sent back messages saying they don't know and with a ooh. I searched Tailstall's profile, but it said the profile doesn't exist. I immediately turned off the PlayStation 3 and used my laptop to go to the PSN forums. I made a thread about my message encounter with the Tailstall. Users were replying. They also reported getting messages after playing Sonic R with Tailstall. Damn, was the Sonic R community on Sonic... Was the Sonic R community on PS3 that big? Never had that experience. Wasn't playing online back then, thankfully. Yeah. It was 10 p.m. Wait, hold on. An administrator deleted the thread, calling it nonsense. It was 10 p.m., so I went to the bathroom, turned off the lights. Oh, no, not bathroom, bedroom. I was gonna say, like, why are you sleeping in the bathroom? So I went to the bathroom, turned off the lights, and slept. I don't think Sonic R was even remembered back then. Yeah. When I woke up the next morning, I found a little paper saying, "Dear Richard, I'm going to kill your friends to show them that they are fools. Sincerely, the doll." There was a little bloodstain where "the doll" was read. I freaked out and threw it in the trash and had a 1,000-mile stare until I got to school? What? Every COD chat ever. The doll. I ran inside the classroom and screamed to my friends that they would be killed. Like, he just barged into the classroom and he's like, "Guys, you guys are getting fucking killed!" Oh my gosh. The teacher thought I was the class clown, and I punished me with lunch detention for today. Oh, that's good. Thank you for doing their job and punishing yourself. Lunch detention. I like how that's like a proper noun. At lunch detention, one of my peers said they heard of the Tailstall after I told them my encounter with it. That made me get chills in my spine, is that he told me I'm the Tailstall's vessel. What? Wait, what? Hold on. One of my peers... Okay. Guys! I was playing Kirby and Meta Knight's going to kill me! And he was bleeding from his hands! Meaning that I pleased the Tailstall by playing as him in Sonic R. The moment after he said that, the fire alarm rang, and we evacuated the school. Smoke was coming from the 3rd floor, and it was a real fire! It was coming from my classroom! What? Holy shit! The stakes have risen! What? Holy shit! I came home early due to the fire. I told my parents about the fire, but not the Tailstall. My father told me that my uncle and my cousins are coming. Luckily, my uncle was a retired veteran, so I might have some protection from the Tailstall from now. What? Oh, Uncle, the Tailstall's gonna kill me. Please help me. Tailstall can set things on fire. True. A few hours later, I told my cousins the entire story, and they didn't believe me, saying that it was a good scary story, but this is reality. Nah, I think your cousins are just being nice. They're just saying it's a good story. It's a good scary story just to be nice. Suddenly, my cell phone was ringing, and it was my friend saying he was having a party. I got permission from my parents, and I headed off to my friend's house. Hey, remember when the school got caught on fire? We're just gonna move on from that? Okay. As I got there, we had a great time fooling around, eating like hell, and watching fights of drunk men. After a while, a doorbell rang. The music was so loud we couldn't hear it, so the doorbell rang continuously until I noticed the sounds and opened it. It was my older brother, and so he joined the party. Cool. Where was Tailstar when I had written that terrible fanfic at school? What? Hold on. Oh, what? What's that? Oh my gosh. Actually, let me turn down the volume of the music. Actually, it's a bit loud. A little bit. Who would invite a kid to this party? Wait, yeah, you're right. Actually, what the fuck? What is he? Why are they inviting this kid into a party with drunk men? What? And then, like, his older brother joined, and it's like, where was he? You should be looking after him. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I had a sleepover at my friend's house since it was too late to go home. I woke up at 5 a.m. that morning and found a doll. Well, I mean, yeah, it's 5 a.m. It would be in the morning. And found a doll that looks like the Tails doll from Sonic R. Since I find no interest in dolls, I gave it to my little sister when I got home. My guard was down, thinking that the doll conspiracy was finally over. I read my dad's newspaper, and I jumped out of my chair when I saw the headlines. It read, "Fire started in Eisenhower Middle School by unknown entity, 3 injured." This unknown entity sounded like the Tails doll, and I become paranoid once again. Why? Like, why? Why does it make you think that? Like, oh, unknown entity. Clearly it's a Tails doll. Like, people are fighting in the background. Most likely those people are fighting so much their heads are nothing but red and bruised. I've been to a New Year's party before and they weren't this violent. Also, how did the newspaper came to that conclusion? Yeah. Like, what did I mean by unknown entity? Like, are they even not sure if it was a person or a thing? And why would they call it like an unknown entity and not something more mundane like by an unknown source or something? Like, entity makes it sound paranormal. Did Frank West investigate it? I decided to do a temporary paperboy. Wait, what? I decided to be a temporary paperboy to end my boredom after breakfast. Okay, sure. This kid is going all over the place. An hour later, all the papers were delivered, and the days afterward were quite casual with no school, because the school's been set on fire. As I checked the mailbox for letters from my classmates, I stumbled upon a yellow envelope, which is quite unusual. I mean, I don't know, don't packages usually come in like yellow paper sometimes? It's not that unusual. I ripped it open with curiosity, and it was from your secret killer. It read, "My dear friend, I know where you live. I will not kill your friends, but burn their houses instead for even more suffering. Will you play with me?" I ran to the nearest trash can and threw it away, and I attempted to clear my mind. So wait, are you not gonna tell your friends? Okay. Late that night, several fire trucks came to several houses, and I realized that letter was actually telling the truth for once. Holy fuck! What? Suddenly stumbled on a yellow envelope. Yeah. Wait, stumbled, like, I stumbled upon. Oh, okay, no, he checked the mailbox. Okay. But oh my god, what? That just happened so quickly. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna burn your friend's house down. A minute later, their houses has been burnt down. Oh my god. I thought this was gonna be like a spooky video game creepypasta. I didn't know that this would affect real life to this extent. How is this not in the news? Going from 0 to 100 without any build-up. Yeah. Oh my god. School reopened the next day, and what happened last night made it to Fox News that morning. Okay, so it did make the news. How comes I never saw it? As I entered the classroom when I came to school, I mean, Where else would the classroom be? Everybody was paranoid just like me. And when school was over, as I walked home, I found a paper saying, "I will see you, Richard," on the sidewalk. Then, I believed this Tales doll was actually real. What? Well, I'm so confused right now. Did you not believe it was real? Like, you were like, this unknown entity sounds like the Tales doll. So we're not going to talk about how much damage to the school. It did have a fire happen there, right? Yeah, like, there's like no sense of build up to anything. It's like, if this is trying to be a horror story, it's doing a really bad job because it's like, it's not spending any time whatsoever on these sudden events that have real world, like, consequences and, you know, damages. Like, goddamn. Alright, I ran to the nearest trash can and threw it away and attempted to clear my mind. Oh wait, no, I read this already. I ran as fast as I can. When I stopped, I saw fresh blood dripping down a storm drain. I suddenly became sick and disgusted by this horrific sight. I ran even faster and was inside my home, and I locked the door tight. Something was poking on me, and so I turned around. Nothing was there. I ran upstairs to my room. The door locked for no reason. Nothing was inside. The lights went out for no reason. I heard loud footsteps coming from the stairs. I mean, what's the reason though, exactly? Like, the power could just be going out. I don't know. That could happen. A red light appeared. The lights turned on. It was the Tales doll! Woo! And I guess that's what the image is supposed to be. It's like, holy shit, it's the Tales doll in real life. Also, how did the Tales doll cross over into the real world? Does someone like trade their Sega Saturn copy at school? Or does the school still happen to have a Saturn all plugged in? Also, blood everywhere. Yeah, like how what triggered these series of events? It was like they were playing Sonic R on the PS3, I guess. I don't know. No, on the Sega Saturn, I mean. And then I guess coincidentally there was like a user naming themselves after the Tales doll, which I assume is just like this thing right here. But like, is there a correlation or is it just pure coincidence? Sonic R is cursed. That is true. It told me in a demonic voice, "I will show the error of your ways." It took out a knife, but turned around and floated outside. Oh, it's carrying a fucking knife. That's a funny image. I closed my eyes in horror as it was killing innocent people. There's people? What? It came back saying, "Are you happy knowing you can feel the sunshine?" It got a huge machete and was ready to kill me as well. I locked the door and dropped down from the window. With luck, I landed on the ground. Oh, thank goodness. I was worried it was going to be a bottomless pit. Okay, wait. I think I remember this line in particular. This was like a meme back in the Creepypasta community. With luck, I landed on the ground. The Tales doll was furiously slashing at the door. A piece of the door flew out of the window, and the doll's dark eyes were glaring at me. It threw the knife, and it almost hit me. It found a chainsaw, and told me it was doing a sacrifice. What the fuck? I have seen slasher movies with more build up than this. Holy shit. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Dripping with blood, I ran through an alley and floated straight toward... And wait, what? I ran through an alley and floated straight toward trying to slice me into two. Wait, huh? Wait, what is it talking about? Is it talking about... is the narrator talking about himself or the Tales doll? I'm confused. Before it was going to kill me, I found a wooden cross and shoved it in front of him. Oh, it's just like a wooden cross on a ground. How convenient. He burned like it was a bomb and exploded, and the explosion severely damaged my physical body, and I was dead. The end. Hello, Eric. How's it going? I'm just finishing up this first story, A Close Encounter with the Tails Doll. This is the last sentence. I lifted my way back home with a chainsaw and told my siblings an unbelievable story. Wow. Wow. That was insane. What happened to the random blue lines? I miss ass room. With luck, I landed on the ground. It's a Tales creepypasta. Yes, it is a Tales creepypasta, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So, okay, to summarize what just happened in this story, so the main character was playing Sonic R with his friends on the Sega Saturn, and then sometime later he was playing Sonic the Sega All-Stars Racing on the PS3. He got like messages from like PlayStation Home or whatever about a user calling themselves Tailsdoll, threatening to kill him and his friends. Actual real-world shit happens, like the school got caught on fire. 3 people were injured in the process. The main character's friends' houses were set on fire. And then the Tails doll is actually real and starts chasing the main character with both a machete and a chainsaw. He was killing innocent people, whatever that means. Also that ooh in the text. Yeah. and then I guess the main character just found a cross conveniently placed on the ground or whatever, and that's what killed the Tails doll. So I guess the Tails doll was like demonic or something. And yeah, as the old saying goes, well, that just happens. Suddenly cross. Yeah. But yeah, this was a very funny story. The grammar is not the worst thing I've read in a creepypasta, but it's not like great either. Like there's like this phrasing right there, like dripping with blood, I ran through an alley and floated straight toward, tried to slice me into 2. Like I think it was supposed to say it ran through an alley, like it's referring to the Tails doll, but the misspelling makes it the mistype makes it seem like the author is describing himself going through an alley and trying to slice himself. I don't. It's man. Fuck. Scary. The author is flying. Yeah. The author is by Smarty the Hedgehog. Says right here, I think. And yeah, I have to say this was a very smart story. I quite enjoyed it. Okay, so let me take a sip of water. We have a bunch of stories to go through. I have like 4 stories pulled up after this one. I think they're all fairly short. This is gonna be a buffet of creepypasta stories. But this was a pretty funny first one. So the next story I'm gonna read. Actually, first let me drink water. All right. Ooh. We are eating well today. Yeah. The second story I'm gonna read is one that I actually did read to a couple people on my server, but I just really want to share it because it's really incredible. The next story is called Lil Wayne's Secret, a creepypasta about popular rapper Lil Wayne. Full context, I have actually listened to all of Lil Wayne's albums at work a while back, so I have a general idea of what his music sounds like and how, you know, how respected he is, basically. But this story right here is quite something else, and I really like this one, so let's get started with this. The story is not real. It is a creepypasta, a pretty old and bad one at that, written for entertainment purposes. Don't take it seriously. Well, joke's on you. I'm gonna take it seriously. Well, hold on, let me check something real quick. Okay, that's good. Alright, so let's get started. Regardless of whether you listen to hip hop or not, I'm sure the vast majority of you has heard of Lil Wayne. His music is undoubtedly a part of pop culture. You have to clarify in the very beginning that this story is not real. Yeah, like, thank goodness. I was gonna get scared if this all actually happened. Thank you, author. His music is undoubtedly a part of pop culture. However, in the past, before his popularity was as high as it is today, he made a song called I Feel Like Dying. Now, the actual subject matter is about what sounds like Lil Wayne's drug addiction. However, there have been rumors starting around 2007-2008 that the song contained a hidden message if played reverse. The classic. As one of the many that listened to it, I have to say I was pretty creeped out after hearing it. Some people have taken the liberty of making lyrics to the reverse song, and as expected, the lyrics vary from video to video. However, the content is always the same. Violence, murder, and something demonic. Ooh. As a curious person, I decided to do some research on the subject, and I haven't found much. When Wikipedia had an article on the song briefly, it said that Lil Wayne never commented on whether the rumors were true. Upon going for underground sources, I have some connections with people in the music industry. Of course you do. Why would you not have any? I uncovered that once during an interview, Lil Wayne was asked about the rumors regarding the song, and he reportedly ignored the question. Of course. When the interviewer persisted, Lil Wayne just got up and left, ending the interview prematurely. Another account said that when a fan ran into him on the street and asked about the rumor, he started yelling at him and cursing on him. When the fan kept asking, Lil Wayne assaulted him and told him to never mention the song again. God, that's just kind of a funny visual in my head. Like, imagine like a TMZ ass video of a fan or whoever asking Lil Wayne about whether his song is demonic, and Lil Wayne just gets progressively more and more upset. Oh. There were several more accounts of things like this happening. However, one of the stories involved a woman actually being... Whoa! Hold on. Right, I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna head out. There were several more accounts of things like this happening. However, one of the stories involved a woman actually being murdered by fellow rappers and label mates Drake and Gouda Gouda for asking about it. Holy shit! Okay, hold on. Suddenly we went from this song might be demonic to, oh yeah, famous rapper Drake may have murdered a person. What? Using the same music industry connections I have, I managed to get a hold of some backstage tickets at a concert he was having. However, the concert wasn't for another 5 months, so I had to put my quest for answers on pause until then. I mean, like, yeah, talk about left field. Like, I really want to know what Drake and Gouda Gouda were doing. When the day of the concert arrived, I sat next to some die-hard fans who kept screaming. Like most people, I'm always wondering how he became so popular, despite his rap skills not being the best. As someone who has actually listened to Lil Wayne's music now, I can tell you right now that Lil Wayne is actually like, when he's doing his best, Lil Wayne is actually like a really good rapper. Like, his lyrical content and his wordplay is like really above a lot of other rappers. But I mean, granted, this story was written around a time where, like, I guess Lil Wayne was still kind of polarizing, so I guess I could kind of understand the sentiment here. But I wasn't one to question how a man makes his living, so I just kicked back and enjoyed the concert. The concert itself was unbelievably hyped up. There was so much energy, it was like a musician's idea of heaven. After the concert ended, some hours later, I went backstage and met Lil Wayne. Despite his lyrics, he is actually a very sweet and homely guy. When I was introduced to him by the bodyguards, he was sitting down reading his Bible. He got up and greeted me, and he introduced me to the rest of the Young Money group. Drake shook my hand, then walked out of sight. Nicki Minaj gave me a hug, and I won't lie, I wish that hug lasted forever. After shaking the rest of the group's hands and chatting briefly with Tyga, I sat down to talk with Lil Wayne. This fucking author is just flexing right now. It's just like, oh yeah, I got to talk to Drake and Nicki Minaj and Tyga. Like, I'm so Gucci. We discussed religion and our faith. For those who don't know, Lil Wayne is a practicing Christian. The background stories behind the songs. The song Lollipop was actually a dare by one of the song's producers, Jim Johnson, to make a song about blowjobs to jokingly release as a single. And Our Lives. Who are these people? I mean, you mean there's Drake, who's probably like the biggest rapper right now. He just got into a rap beef with Kendrick Lamar. Nicki Minaj was like the biggest female rapper of her time. Tyga is kind of mid from what I've heard, but I mean, he has some connections. But I mean, like this author though, he's like, oh yeah, I have some like music industry connections. I could just talk to these people, and I'm just sharing this all with you. Like, okay. I was impressed by how intelligent this man really is. He's had a rough life growing up in the Holly Grove area of New Orleans, and he says he's blessed to have a career as successful as his. Hey, remember when he said that Drake murdered a woman? Are we getting back to that? I decided after about 30 minutes of chatting to bring up I Feel Like Dying. I'm gonna flex. As I brought it up, his face went from happy and cheerful to just drain of its color, like if something terrified him. As we talked about the song, he had told me he was in a hard time in his life when he wrote the song, that without drugs, he felt like he would die, and then he tried to change the subject. When I asked about the rumors of a hidden message in the song, he became visibly furious and denied that there was a hidden message. Oh shit. Oh, so I'm gonna ban you. There you go. Alright, all good. No! Yeah, sorry. The cheap viewers are really enticing, but I can't let the fame and numbers get to me. Oh, there was like a bot account that just was promoting some scam site, so I had to block them. Alright. Okay, where was I? When I told him I had sources saying otherwise, he was now at a point of tears and told me to get the fuck out. As security was escorting me out, I managed to catch a glimpse of him clutching his Bible and chanting Bible verses over and over again. The man was now obviously afraid and now got me more curious. Why would this man just freak out and have me kicked out? I knew there was a reason, and I set out to find it. I mean, the obvious reason is because you said something that was upsetting to him. Like, do you have no empathy, my author? After some time has passed, I managed to get ahead of Cool and Dre. You get to fucking talk to Dr. Dre. Come the fuck on. If you don't know who they are hip-hop producers who have produced many of Lil Wayne's songs. I chatted with them, and as I mentioned his supposed hidden message in I Feel Like Dying, Dre just stomped out of the room, and Cool just stand there with a frozen expression on his face. That is a funny visual to me. Empathy? What is that? I don't know, who are they referring to Cool? Because there's a bunch of rappers with Cool in the name. Like LL Cool J or something? I don't know. When I asked once again, he whispered to me, I can't explain here. They'll hear us. Follow me. When I asked who was they, he told me to follow him to his car. When we got to it, told me to never mention what he was going to tell me to anybody. Then he started the car and started driving. And yet, as the author, I'm going to share this to everyone regardless. Vanilla Ice was taken sadly. Yeah. After 15 minutes of driving and Cool being silent, we arrived at a large church. The church was already having sessions, as I could see a swarm of people gathering inside. I followed Cool into the church and it said, alright, they can't hear us here. When I asked Cool, he replied with, the real producers of that song. Apparently, shortly before Lil Wayne's popularity exploded, he made a pact with a demon named Murmur that in exchange for his soul, finding a few more people to make the same pact and allowing him to possess Lil Wayne for a short period of time, he would make him one of the most popular rappers alive and make sure his career prospers. Oh, okay. Lil Wayne agreed, and he started looking for new talent to recruit. He said that Murmur was the true writer of the song, and several of his minions were actually the producers. When the real producers are demons. Wait, what? When I was typing that, I was joking. Yeah, like that's such a funny visual. Like imagine like these like redskin Devon horde creatures, and they're the ones cooking up beats for Lil Wayne. When Lil Wayne recorded the song, it wasn't really him. It was Murmur possessing him for the sole purpose of making the song reality. Murmur can spit some fucking flames. God damn. Lil Wayne has no memory of recording the song, and after a few years found new recruits. Those new recruits? We know them as Young Money. All of the rappers in the Young Money group have made the same pact, and Lil Wayne's deal was complete. Murmur kept his part of the deal and helped Lil Wayne's and the Young Money group's careers become successful. Where's Doom Guy when you need him? However, Lil Wayne now regrets the deal because he now fears for his soul and now regularly attends church, prays fanatically, and reads his Bible every chance he gets, hoping it will be enough for God to forgive him and take back the deal. Oh my god. Cool then said he remembers one time going to a studio session when the song was being recorded. He said Murmur looked like a soldier with a uniform that resembled the French Foreign Legion? The color of the uniform, however, was a mixture of red, black, and orange, like fire and brimstone colors. His face looked strangely human, not anything you expect a demon to look like, but his pupils were pure black. Right next to him was a strange animal next to him that resembled a giant vulture. He said that it kept staring at him, and it got extremely uncomfortable. He said Murmur spoke to Lil Wayne briefly before turning into a floating pile of dust and violently flying inside Lil Wayne's mouth. Oh my god! The force knocked him down, and he started violently choking and vomiting some foul-smelling yellow substance. When it ended, Lil Wayne / Murmur went to the recording booth and started recording the normal song. This reads like a fucking skit. Like, this is insane. He looked behind him and saw two very large demonic creatures mixing the songs and playing around with the instrumentals. The larger demon looked at him with glaring bloodshot eyes and said in a loud booming voice to leave the room. I think this pasta is a joke. It has to be. Like, holy shit. Like, how did we go from, oh yeah, this song has a weird demonic message to, oh yeah, it turns out demons are real, and they have been possessing Lil Wayne, and the demons have also been making his beats. Like, this is so good. Then Cool told me, now you know everything. Never tell anybody you heard this from me. Everybody involved in the making of that song is not supposed to reveal its true origins. That's why Lil Wayne gets aggressive when asked about it. They will drag us straight to hell if we ever told. Do you listen to Lil Wayne or the other Young Money artists? Their lyrics are good. In fact, they flat out suck. It's because of the pact is why they are so successful. The forces of hell make sure the weak-minded people who listen to their music get sucked in and ask for more. Now tell me your address. I'll drive you home. After driving me home, I watch him drive off extremely quick and recklessly. Like, you just can't come up with this for a scary story. Like, yeah, it's just like, I feel like, you know, a concept like this could work if, you know, you did it differently. But the fact that, like, they're tying this all into Lil Wayne and his like Young Money rap crew is absolutely ridiculous. And just the way to convey this information, like murmur turned to a puff of smoke and he entered Lil Wayne's mouth and then he starts spitting on the mic. Like that's insane. That's insane writing. I wish I could write like this. um yeah, honestly, reading this, it's like I get the impression that this is just like the author's excuse to talk shit about Lil Wayne and like his music, I guess, because that's kind of like, oh, why do I hate his music? Oh, it's because this music is actually made by the devil. Like, oh, I gotta finish this. I kept replaying everything over and over in my mind. I couldn't believe it was true, but I guess this is pretty common. There are successful music artists who don't really have much talent today who are actually really popular. Like this reads like 20-something-year-old who grew up on the 90s not liking 2010s music. Like that's what it reads to me like. Not only that, but this writer seems to have beef with other rappers. Yeah. A BRB? Yeah, no problem. I'll just finish this up. Oh, no, I'm not reading that word. Fuck that. While it would be stupid to assume they made the same pact as Lil Wayne, it doesn't hurt to keep an open mind. Next time you hear conspiracy theories about popular artists selling their souls to the devil, keep an open mind, because with some research, you might just find it true. Holy shit. This is such a high concept creepypasta. I mean, I can't even say it's like creepy because it's like, I don't know how to say it. It reads to me less like someone telling a story and more like someone telling their ideas for a story, because a lot of it is presented so like matter of factly that like I guess the inherent terror of the situation is just not really conveyed that well. I mean, remember when like the author casually mentions that like Drake and Gouda Gouda may have murdered a woman? Like, what happened to that piece of detail? Why did they murder a woman? Like, God. Like, honestly, I kind of want to see this story adapted into like a weird skit. Like, this is just more funny, if anything. Like, this feels like a skit by like, I don't know, like that one YouTube channel called like Artsy One World or whatever. I am back. What has happened? Oh, so the author was just wrapping up his thoughts on this whole thing. He says a bad word in it that I'm not gonna say. Screw that. But yeah, man, this is such a fascinating story. And the funny thing is that all things considered, this is not written that badly at all. Like, there's very little that I recognize as like grammar mistakes or typos, whatever. Like, this is a fairly professional piece of writing, all things considered, for creepypasta standards. It's just that the concept is really absurd. And I feel like trying to frame this as like a creepypasta just doesn't work. Like, it's too outlandish and absurd. It would work better as like a high concept satirical film than it does a horror story. But all things considered, though, it is, I do find this very entertaining. But alright, so the next story we're gonna read is called, what is it called? Oh god, these images. This is called Monsters Inc. Opening Deleted Version. So I have not read this one. This is like, I just randomly come across it while pressing the random page button, and then I saw these images, and that's what prompted me to actually want to read this story. But man, why is the worst of the stories are so written so clean? Either someone has been using Grammarly or there is an editor for this site. If that is the fact, then God help the editor. Oh no. So the story, the editors are not changing the writing of these stories. Like, what you're reading is basically true to form of what the author has put it down. The website is mainly, you know, archiving these stories basically. Um, who wrote the Lil Wayne story? I have to check actually. I don't think it even says anything. Uh, let me see. I've just gotta take a check real quick. It doesn't even say. Shit, never mind. Uh, but man, okay, so next story is called Monsters Inc. Opening Deleted Version. I randomly come across the story pressing the random page button, and I just saw these images, and I was like, oh, I have to read this. There may be some fucked shit in this story. I don't know. I haven't skimmed through it that much. Um, but yeah, let's get started. Anno 4chan story written the written the Lil Wayne story. Yeah, it's anonymous. Honestly, I hope the author reveals themselves because like I think they have potential to write some like stellar like conspiracy theory stories based on certain musicians and stuff. Like they have a talent for that. All right, I drank water. Let's get started with this one. First, let's look at the images. The posters for Monsters Inc. Opening Seed Deleted Version by Rohan Hordern. Second poster. This is where the real fun starts. Like, what the fuck am I looking at? Okay, let's start reading. Monsters Inc. was one of Pixar's best works yet. It had a neat concept and charming moments. I was scared of it when I was a kid, but I will always have a soft spot for it. Love that film. Yeah, it's a great film. But that's not what I am talking about. There is something that will be stuck in my head for years now. It was November 2nd, 2020, a year before Monsters Inc.'s 20th anniversary. I was viewing the Pixar website about their projects from 1995 to 2005. Not long after, I got a mail notification from Pixar. I opened up the email and it said, "Hello, Pixar fan from Australia. We would like to show you an unreleased draft at the beginning of Monsters Inc., as we would rather not release it to the public. The person who made it was the same person who made the deleted draft of Woody's Nightmare from Toy Story 2, only he impersonated a random man. After you watch it, please do not screen it anywhere. Watch at your own risk." I'm sorry, what? Wait, hold on. What is this context here? So they got an email saying, "We would like to show you an unreleased draft at the beginning of Monsters Inc." And this is the same person who made Woody's Nightmare from Toy Story 2. Is that a real thing? I don't know if that's a real thing. I was confused, but surprised. I just got another email from Pixar. The first time I got one from them was when I was given a deleted draft of Woody's Nightmare from Toy Story 2. Wait, is this like a whole other story? Is this like a whole other story? Like Woody's Nightmare? I gotta look this up, actually. It's gotta be quick. Woody's Nightmare Creepypasta. Because if it's like an actual prequel, then I may have to read it. Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, yeah, I think this is the prequel. Oh my god, okay. Hold on, I need to, I may have to actually read this first, because, like, if it's true, then that means there's some real continuity here. I'm gonna read this first. Oh my god, it's a fandom site. Okay, let me adjust something. Sure, that works. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it is another pasta. It's called Woody's Nightmare Deleted Version. Like, goddamn, this author is busy. Okay, so, and by the way, I did skim through the article. There's also funny images in this story, so that's great. All right, let me try to fit. this. Ooh! Oh, wait, no. Okay, there we go. Okay. My eyes. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Let's get started reading this story. I hope it's. I hope the once we get back to the Monsters Inc. story, I hope that it's as good as this one. All right. Toy Story is one of the greatest movie series in the world. I loved it growing up. I loved Pixar movies since I was a kid. However, there's something that I've been devastated from that I think I might feel comfortable telling you. I might feel comfortable telling you. I was browsing on the web, watching YouTube videos, and looking on Google images of Toy Story, etc. Until I got a mail notification on my laptop saying I got an email from Pixar. I like how they said, like, I was looking up Google images of Toy Story. Why are you looking up images of Toy Story? I don't know. As I opened the email, it said, "Dear biggest Toy Story fan in Australia, we have found a very dark deleted scene of Toy Story 2. A former Pixar animator was fired for adding this in a film for children and his taste in horror films. So we dropped it out and replaced it with a better one for children. Only watch this at your own risk. The Pixar team." Like, I was very surprised and confused. How did they even know me? And how was there a deleted draft of Toy Story 2? But I accepted the email anyway. He is known to be the greatest Toy Story fan. Like, why are Pixar just randomly emailing this random Australian? Like, oh, hey, hello, Australian Toy Story fan. Would you like to see this? um... This story is off to a good start already. The file name was Toy Story 2 Woody's Nightmare Beta.mov. So, it was a deleted version of Woody's Nightmare from Toy Story 2, huh? I used to be scared of that scene when I was little, I thought. I opened the file and had a message before the video started. Wait, was the author talking to himself? Like, why did he write it like that? They needed to dump the files somewhere. The Toy Story 5 files are just taking up too much space. Yeah, they never changed formats or hard drives. They'd have to use the same one since 1995 or whatever. I opened the file and had a message before the video started. This deleted scene of Toy Story 2 has been changed and will never be seen by the public. This disturbing clip is not for the faint-hearted. Viewer discretion is advised. Moving right on, it showed a shot of Andy's house at dawn. When it cut to Andy's room, Woody was on the shelf sleeping that... Wait, what? Woody was on the shelf sleeping that Andy's mum put him on after Andy accidentally ripped his arm. Just then, the Davis car rolled in through the window, getting Woody's attention. "Yeehaw! Ride him, cowboy!" Andy whooped, as heard in the film itself. I mean, where else would it be heard? "He's back!" Woody asked himself, noticing Andy. He then looked down at the rest of the toys and called out, "Hey everybody, Andy's back! He's back early from cowboy camp!" On the ground were Mr. Potato Head, Rocky, Slinky, and Rex playing cards, getting Woody's attention. Ham, next to the door, shouted, "Places, everybody! Andy's coming!" All of the toys scattered around the room to find their usual places. Woody heard Andy's footsteps approaching upstairs, so he became motionless. Andy burst into his room, riding a wooden hobby horse, humming the Lone Ranger theme, as usual heard in the movie. He then stepped up to the shelf and spotted Woody on the shelf. He stepped up to the shelf and spotted him on the shelf. Okay. "Hey, Woody, did you miss me?" Andy said his usual dialogue in the film. He then snatched Woody off and swung him around until he stopped and noticed something. "Oh, I forgot," Andy moaned, noticing the rip on Woody's arms. "You're broken," he said as he tugged at the arm. Rolls off the tongue, ain't it? Andy then moved Woody away from him and said his same line from the film. but it shifted to a distorted filter like heard in foreign dubs of the scene. I don't want to play with you anymore. I got chills down my spine hearing that distorted filter. Andy then loosened his grip and let go of Woody in slow motion. It showed a worm's eye view shot of Woody falling towards the camera as the image behind him stretched out. He fell on a pile of cards that the toys were playing earlier. It then went to an empty sea of flying cards, but the background was in a shade of crimson red rather than the blue teal background. Woody falling into a red sea of cards. Woody then fell through a larger card, but it was ignited in flames. What am I watching right now? I said under my breath. Woody then fell through a spotlight and into an empty dustbin. It then cut to a shot of Woody lying in a dustbin full of mismatched toy arms as seen in the movie. However, the arms were faintly stained in blood. Of course they would. Woody regained movement and noticed he was in the dustbin. He jumped up and out of the dustbin to run. Sounds just like how it is in the movie so far. I mean, so far, but I mean, there's blood. That's very different. The arms then extended like a tentacle and shot at Woody, grabbed him by the ankle, and pulled him into the air. They swung him around an empty dark area before Andy's distorted echoing voice said off screen, "This is your new home. I hope you have a good time there." The hyper-realistic blood needs to be there. Yeah, it adds to the intensity of the scene. It showed a first-person shot of Woody being flung around as he could be heard screaming. It cut back to Woody continuing being swung around until the arms flung him down to the bin. It showed another first-person shot of Woody falling into the bin as the hole opened up. Wait. I think I just missed some sentences. Oh, I missed this part. They swung him around an empty dark area before Andy's distorted echoing voice said off screen, "This is your new home. I hope you have a good time there." And I've read this part already. Nice of you to visit a cow. Oh, hold on. He landed on a rough ground. The floor was tilted in black and white, tiled in black and white. He put his back hat on and went to look around. "Nice of you to visit, cowboy," a voice whispered. Woody darted his eyes around frantically, wondering where that voice came from. It showed a shot of a back view of Woody. Just then, a mismatched arm that popped up out of nowhere and wrapped around Woody's neck to strangle him. I could hear Woody choking watching that horrible scene. Wait, what? Oh. More mismatched arms raised up in front of him. "We are the broken toys. Nobody loves playing with any broken toy, which means that we don't function properly. You're one of us now. We always obey the master who throws us away." The toys whispered, revealing to be the mysterious voice. A dustbin then grew from the ground around Woody, and more arms sprouted out around him. "No, Andy! No! No, Andy! No!" pleaded Woody, as heard in the final film, as he tried to unclasp the arm around his neck. The arm just clasped back onto his neck, and the arm started pulling him down the dustbin, as Woody's chokes can still be heard. Just then, it showed a white circle from a worm's eye view shot, and Andy approached in front of it, but he had a zombie-like appearance as his eyes were bloodshot and his skin was pale. More or less what happened in the movie. Did they just add in the blood to ink it closer to a lost scene creepypastas and zombies too? Yeah, like so far this is pretty standard. "Bye, Woody," Andy said sadly, echoing through the dustbin as heard in the film itself. It showed a bird's eye view of Woody getting pulled down as he was almost submerged in the pile of arms. Woody cried, "No! No! Andy!" Andy then closed the lid. It showed a black screen after he did that. I was expecting something else to happen. Just then, the silence was interrupted by a scream that belonged to Woody. The screaming continued until it showed an image of Woody lying on the ground motionless. Oh, I guess this is the image. Too much blood. His broken arm was torn off. He was missing his eyes. One of his boots was pulled off. His mouth was agape, and he was lying on a bloody puddle. Side note: toys cannot bleed, but the blood obviously came from the arms since they were bloodstained. Thank you for telling us that toys can't bleed. I was worried about that. There were screams fading in slowly as the screen zoomed in on his face. Woody's corpse. Toys cannot bleed. Oh my god, you said this already. What? You got me scared for a second there. But not long after, it showed a scene that came from the final movie. Woody screaming, waking up, which frightened me, and gasping for air. Right before the scene, he met Wheezy. Then the video ended. After Woody's corpse, I rushed to the bathroom and vomited straight into the toilet. Damn, I guess he's really sensitive to blood in a kid's film, huh? I posted it to YouTube, so I deleted the file so no one could have their childhoods ruined. I don't want... what? Hold on. You posted it to YouTube where... I mean, unless you privated the video, I guess, it's like... people are gonna watch that video and get their childhoods ruined anyway. Oh my gosh. I had a lot of nightmares about that video clip. I've hallucinated Woody's lifeless face staring at me. The animator who made that scrap animation of Woody's nightmare from Toy Story 2 must be sued. I haven't watched a Toy Story video, nor looked up an image after what I just saw. Later that night, I have some nightmare for garbage mismatched toys killing me as the same of Woody's body in the dustbin. Never ever click suspicious links of deleted scenes from the movie. That's the lesson, I guess. A lesson that I'm assuming he's not gonna keep true to his word because there is a sequel. Okay. Yeah. Pikachu Lover 321 says, this is actually pretty aight. The gore at the end is kinda unnecessary though, and the ending is just generally cliche. 5 out of 10, I guess. Well, what do you actually like about the story, Pikachu Lover 321? Can you explain? All 13 creepypastas on Rohan's YouTube channel are private and will be missed. Oh, is that like the author's YouTube channel? Did he actually make fake YouTube clips at one point? The original is darker. What? Okay. Don't click links to free V-Bucks. Yeah. But okay, so that was Toy Story 2, Woody's Nightmare, deleted version. Not all that good of a story, honestly. It was kind of boring. But hopefully the sequel is even better. I mean, it has these kinds of images, so it has to be better. But before I read ahead, I'm gonna take a short break, and just get something to eat, and let the ad play out and stuff. And yeah, once I'm coming back, we're just gonna read this story and keep reading more creepypastas. Basically, I basically have 2 left. So yeah, I'll be back pretty shortly in about 5 to 6 minutes, maybe. But yeah, I'll be back very shortly.
This stream is so scary, I think I am gonna have creepy dreams.
All right, I'm back, and so the last story we just read, what was it, like a Toy Story 2 deleted scene or whatever? Yeah, that was pretty underwhelming. It was like it's mainly just, hey, let me take a scene from a movie and make it a little spookier, but it's not really all that interesting, you know? Uh, with that said, though, I did skim through a bit of this Monsters Inc. opening story, made by the same author, and it is already looking like a very huge improvement. So I'm just gonna get started reading this. All right. Monsters Inc. was one of Pixar's best works yet. It had a neat concept and charming moments. I was scared of it when I was a kid, but I will always have a soft spot for it. But that's not what I am talking about. There is something that will be stuck in my head for years now. It was November 2nd, 2020, a year before Monsters Inc.'s 20th anniversary. I was viewing the Pixar website about their projects from 1995 to 2005. Not long after, I got a mail notification from Pixar, the entire company. Sorry if I was too chatty. When I hear these stories, I just get a reaction of what the hell sort of thing. No, no problem. It's not a problem at all. If anything, you're free to chat as much as you want. Like it does, it does help improve the streams, I think. um, I opened up the email and it said, "Hello, Pixar fan from Australia. We would like to show you an unreleased draft of the beginning of Monsters Inc., as we would rather not release it to the public. The person who made it was the same person who made the deleted draft of Woody's Nightmare from Toy Story 2, only he impersonated a random man." What? After you watch it, please do not screen it anywhere. Watch at your own risk. I'm assuming that Pixar is not aware that like the author uploaded this video on YouTube, I guess. I was confused, but surprised. I just got another email from Pixar. The first time I got one from them was when I was given a deleted draft of Woody's Nightmare from Toy Story 2. It was kind of underwhelming, honestly. Also, my spelling is quite bad right now. The stream is a bit delayed on my end, and what I type shows up on your main feed 2 seconds after I post. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's not a problem. You may want to refresh the stream, like reload the tab, and see if that helps. That's actually, it does remind me that like for a while, I was looking for a solution to stop stream delays, and turns out online, like I misunderstood something, and I unintentionally added a 20-second delay to my stream. So I guess people were just responding to me like 20 seconds late this whole time. I did not realize that until now. But yeah, hopefully it should be a lot better than it was previously. I do apologize for that. um, but to keep reading. Also, hello, some random person. Want to be scared for life again since video of Buzz following his death from Toy Story 1. Yeah. Pixar really loves this Australian fan. They love him so much. I downloaded the file and it was finally saved onto my laptop. Finally! It took so long. Its file name was Monsters Inc. opening scene beta.mov. An alternate draft at the beginning of Monsters Inc., huh? I thought to myself. I don't know, I wrote what I said as a quote, but whatever. Also, it is fine. I need to type really fast, which is why my spelling is not very good. Okay. I'm here. Its file name was Monsters Inc. opening scene beta.mov. An alternate draft at the beginning of Monsters Inc., huh? I thought to myself. Just only himself. I opened up the file, but before it played, it had a warning. This following deleted, later changed footage of Monsters Inc. you're about to see is not for the weak-hearted. Viewer discretion is advised. Just refresh. Hope it is a little faster now. Hopefully. I got anxious after reading it. Here goes the freakiness again. The footage started with a shot of a shelf in a child's bedroom with toys placed on it. We heard the usual dialogue as heard in the final film. "Good night, sweetheart," said a woman's voice. "Good night, Mom," said a boy's voice. "Sleep tight, kiddo," said a man's voice. It is getting faster. Alright, cool. The light then switched off. It then panned down to the simulation boy sleeping in bed. Things were normal, but after the door creaked open, there was a silent growl coming from the simulation boy's closet. The boy looked around his room to see where the growling was coming from, and he saw a tentacle leaning on the door. However, something wasn't right. The tentacled arm was holding a hatchet. The boy gasped and shut his eyes, bracing for a scare, but when he looked again, the tentacle was only his red jumper sleeve. The boy then went back to sleep. Then a shadow flew over him. As that happened, the room then glowed dark red. "What the hell is going on?" I said to myself. This was why this was changed. What? What? Oh, hi Voob, how's it going? I'm currently reading Monsters Inc. opening deleted version. We're off to a pretty decent start so far. Hope you're doing good. When it panned under the bed, red glowing eyes opened, but there was blood pouring out of them. Ooh, scary. It then cut to a shot of the simulation boy sleeping. At that moment, Thaddeus Bile, one of the monsters in the movie, emerged from behind. Spook. And oh god, he looked berserk. He was all bloodstained. He was holding cleavers in both hands, and he was gritting with bloodstains on his teeth. I don't see cleavers. Moosung has been a bit of a bitch today, but other than that, I'm fine. Good lord, that image. Yeah, look at that teeth. Thaddeus Bile grins at the animatronic boy. The story has some good images. The boy then turned around to see Bile, and he let out a loud, piercing, and blood-curdling scream. The scream was so loud, I covered my ears. The scream lasted for 5 seconds until he stopped. I counted. Roblox creepy face looking ass. His teeth was hyper-realistic. Okay, as I went to play the video file again, I noticed blood on my palms. Shit, I croaked. The boy's scream made my ears bleed, even if I still covered them. Holy shit, dude. I think he may need to get some medical attention fast. Holy shit. Bile then tried to attack the boy with a cleaver, but the boy jumped out of bed and was a human rather than a robot. The boy said shit. What? No, it's the author saying shit, not the boy. But that would be funny though. "I'm gonna get you, little boy," yelled Bile. The simulation boy then opened up the door to get his parents. "Mom, Dad, there's a monster in my room." However, a familiar figure landed in front of him. It was none other than Tex, the THX mascot. Holy shit. Bio, you can't say that. "Hey there, Sparky. Your mommy and daddy aren't here to save you." Tex then chuckled sinisterly. The boy was getting even more scared. "What did you do to them?" the boy asked in fear. "Don't worry, I put them in a safe place. Now it's playtime with— What the fuck? Now it's playtime with Sexy Texy? What? 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 What is even going on? What? Tex then grabbed out a chainsaw from the back of his belt. A screenshot of Tex about to catch his chainsaw to Thaddeus Bio. What? 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 "Hey, Thaddeus, heads up." Tex then threw the chainsaw to Bio, and the latter caught it. Thanks, Exo Alexo, Thaddeus remarked. He started up the chainsaw to kill the boy with. The boy screamed and ran through his house. He ran past many obstacles that were in his way as Pio cut through everything, laughing maniacally while Tex flew around. The boy bung on his parents' bedroom door, but they didn't open. Instead, he tried to find a place to hide. Bunged on the parents' bedroom door? What? Yeah, no, I don't think this is meant to be. I think this is a much less serious story than the last one we read. The boy searched for a place to hide until he found a kitchen pantry. He then ran into it and closed the door. Oh, Sparky, where are you? Tex cooed. We're not gonna kill you. We're only gonna hurt you. Really badly, Bio added. I think they meant banged. There was a bung placed next to the parents' bedroom. Yeah, it's fucking nasty. The boy then sneezed in the pantry, accidentally alerting the two serial killers. Bio then opened up the pantry and found the boy. The boy screamed in a blood-curdling tone again, but the scream wasn't loud this time. The boy tried to run out of the house, but Tex flew into him and grabbed him by the arms. The two were high up into the sky, at the height of a cruise ship. Holy shit. Tex then flew into the boy's window, crashing into the bed. Hey, Thaddeus, I've got the kid. I'll hold him down and you do your job. Thaddeus then ran into the room and started up the chainsaw again. Oh yeah, this is where the playtime starts. The boy panicked. No, please, don't hurt me. I'm just a young boy. No, no, no. Oh my god, what is this image? A screenshot of Thaddeus Bio was about to kill the boy. What is it? What is this? What is it? What is it conveying? I don't know what this is. This is an impressionistic art piece right here. That's the door, I think. Oh my god, it is a fucking door. Jesus Christ. Thaddeus Bio then prepared to swing the chainsaw down on the boy's chest, but his nose started to feel tickly. At that moment, he sneezed on the human simulation boy. The mucus on the boy was very toxic. It started absorbing into him. Don't worry, Boob. I took care of that. Oh my god. The boy let out a blood-curdling scream, but it was louder than the first one. I covered my ears again, but they bled again. How are you still hearing, man? The scream lasted for 4 seconds, shorter than the first scream. Still counting. When the scream stopped, this fucking music though. I received a headache. I then went outside of the house to rest my head for 5 minutes and clean the blood out of my ears with a tissue. When time was up, I went to watch the rest of the video. What is this picture? You received a headache? Yeah. When time was up, I went to watch the rest of the video. Why? Bio and Tex laughed maniacally as the boy's skin was being irritated. The boy then started to feel nauseous. He started to get rashes around his eyes, then disintegrate, and he finally collapsed. The laughing stopped as soon as he finally died. Holy shit, I muttered. It showed an uncomfortably close-up shot of the boy's face zooming in. He was missing his eyes. There was a scar on the right side of his head, and his eardrums were faintly bleeding. Faintly bleeding, as his entire ear is all covered in red. Sure. As I zoomed into his face, there was a group of people's screams fading in. I expected for something else to happen. However, it snapped back to reality, where Bio has made a huge mess in a simulation room. Ew. The bed was knocked over. Many objects in the room were moved around and damaged, and the simulation boy was pulled out of the bed. Story goes so hard, my connection is dying. Oh no. Oh, that might be on my end, actually. I think I think we're good now. Okay. Bio then smiled sheepishly as the wall pulled up. Mrs. Flint, another character from the movie, was disappointed in Bio for making a mess. Mr. Bio, you're fired. I'm sorry, but the truth hurts. Mr. Bio groaned in despair. The video then ended. After seeing the simulation boy's corpse, I started to have an upset stomach. I ran to the bathroom and threw up straight into the toilet. I mean, also your ears are bleeding, and that's probably even worse. After I threw up, I went to delete the file on my laptop since Pixar didn't want to screen in public. That night, I started to have nightmares. I had a nightmare of the Thaddeus Bio and Tex killing me, and another about the simulation boys screaming in my face. I haven't watched another Pixar film after that day. Every night I sleep in bed. I get that feeling somebody is watching me from my wardrobe. Holy shit. Like, what a fucking escalation from the previous story. Like, that Toy Story 2 creepypasta was so fucking boring compared to this one. Like, there's so much crazy shit that happens in a story. I don't even know what to say. I mean, the moment that the text character says, "Now it's playtime with Sexy Texy," that's when I knew this story is on a whole other plane of reality. Oh my god. I get the feeling all the time without even watching scary woke Pixar movies. Damn. This is why we don't see movies like this anymore. Let's read the comments. The random Jared Leto Joker quote really ties everything together. Was there a Jared Leto Joker quote? I am not familiar with Jared Leto Joker. Sorry. This is art. I agree. This story is an insane, degenerate piece of filth, and it deserves to die. I mean, it's not that bad. Jeez. It's okay. As silly as this story is, it's kind of inspired an interesting idea. A black comedy take on Monsters, Inc., where the world is powered by straight up killing as opposed to screams. You could maybe make an environmental analogy if you want to get extra clever with it. Obviously not using the same characters and stuff, just the base idea being similar. You know what, Smetis 2? I do agree. Also, I really like your profile picture. It's really cute. Oh my gosh. Holy shit. And these are the fucking images for this story. Like, man. Five Nights at Freddy's? Who? Certified classic. Oh. I like how that guy had open season twerking for PFP. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So, what are these images? I don't know, but they're art. But okay. Let's all calm down for a moment. And let's read a much more low-key story. Hopefully a much more low-key story. This is called Super Death World 666. A very good title. I want to see where this goes. First, let me get a big sips of water. Because, oh my gosh, that last story really took me out of it. God, between those two stories, the Toy Story 2 and the Monsters Inc. one, the funniest thing to me is just the fact that like Pixar is just sending this random Australian fan these unused scenes for whatever reason. Like, it's never fucking explained why they're doing that. I hope this is like a trilogy. Like, there has to be another story. Ugh, I'm hydrated. Oh boy, I love me Super Death World 666. They went downhill with Death World 670. They should have never gone 3D. True. Okay, let's start reading. I have always loved Mario. Something about that fat-ass Italian plumber filled me with glee. My grandma's basement is filled with Mario posters. I keep my Mario merchandise next to my collection of My Little Pony toys and fedoras. We're off to a good start. It is my mission in life to collect every Mario game in existence. I am only missing one game and will stop at nothing to find it. I was walking home from BronyCon when I encountered an old man selling bootleg NES games in the back of his white, unmarked van. The van was very hot and stuffy. The man identified himself as Hubert. I know he's fat, but there's no need to be rude about it. I am loving this story already. If you get sweaty, you can take your shirt off, he said. I beat him to death with my fedora and stole all the Mario games. I ran to my grandma's basement, where I promptly inserted the game into my NES. Wow, that just happened. The game began with Mario running across a desert world. It looked just like a normal desert world, except the question mark blocks were covered in hyper-realistic blood. I pressed start, and the game began. I was placed into a normal Mario level with green grass and Goombas and Koopas running around. Suddenly, murder. Yeah, it's fucking scary. He said it. I ran around the world for a while before I ran into a Koopa. The Koopa shanked Mario and ate his appendix. I have never seen shanking or appendix eating in a Mario game before, though that struck me as odd. I dismissed it as a glitch and pressed continue. Instead of restarting at the beginning of the level, I was skipped to the next world, Super Death World 666. That spooked me a little. I was placed in another desert world. The sky was red and hyper-realistic. The Koopas and Goombas were covered in hyper-realistic blood. The ground was covered in blood that was hyper-realistic. Mario fell on the ground and died. The screen then faded to black. I googled Super Death World 666 and found it was a rare unreleased game created by a Nintendo employee possessed by Satan. I then realized I had found the last Mario game to complete my collection. I slid the game onto myself, causing a portal to the fourth dimension to open. I walked inside to find a large clear button. I pressed it, causing the universe as we know it to become entangled in a multi-dimensional time warp no human can comprehend. I tipped my fedora. The deed was done. Wow. That was a really, really good story. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I think there's no reason for stories to exist anymore when, this story exists. Like, this is all you need in life. Oh my god. I happened to my good buddy David once. Yeah, that happens sometimes when you're collecting video games. You have to, slid the game into yourself, access the fourth dimension. Crazy shit. Let me read the comments. There are no comments? Damn. People are missing out on a certified hood classic. But okay. I must read this in VC sometime. Yeah, that would be good. Maybe next time. Not for this stream, honestly, but like maybe for next time, I could probably like ask some of y'all to join a VC with me while we're reading these stories because, yeah. Send me a link to it, please. Yes, I will. Here you go. All right. So, this is going to be the last story for this stream. We read quite a lot, but I have a feeling that this story is going to have a lot of really interesting concepts and content. This is called The Mickey Mouse Club Hell. Very promising title, and there's quite a lot written here. So now, let's see where this story goes. Author's note. Just to let you know, this isn't a troll pasta, but real life events that happen. Please be respectful. Damn, okay. Alright guys, like, in all seriousness though, let's not make jokes about this story, because according to the author, this is based on real life events. We need to be respectful. Okay? Okay. And let me drink water in honor of paying respects to the author. How are you liking the story so far, Ether? You haven't said much this stream. Alright, alright. Like the funeral of Nintendo Power. Exactly. Alright. It was in 2015.
This shit boring. Where's the part where they kiss?
I'm sure it will happen in this story, Ether. Just please be patient. And please respect the author's wishes. Okay, let's get started. It was in 2015, back when I was natural and got very super depressed and sad for a very long time because my friend, who was an intern, got executed by something unknown. Wait, hold on. Hold on, why am I laughing? Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm being so disrespectful right now. I actually need to get tissues. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay. I don't know why I'm laughing right now. I don't know what's gotten into me. I just read the first sentence and I'm already dying. I'm actually crying. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Why am I laughing? What just happened? Hold on. Oh my god. Hold on, I need to blow my nose. I gotta mute myself. Hold on. Okay. Calm down. Let's keep reading. I voluntarily went to the funeral. I went up to the decorated coffin and undoubtedly saw his closed eyes look weird. I then ripped off his eyelid and took an eyeball, and blood that went everywhere else was screaming and yelling at me. And I assuredly found this note covered in his fucking eye blood. What? It said 4390 3298 7651 666. Was this some specific kind of cruel joke? How could my longtime friend undoubtedly do this to me? I then yelled at him and properly informed him that he did nothing, and life was the only— Wait, what? Hold on. I then yelled at him and properly informed him that he did nothing, and life was only the unpaid intern that fucking jackass is fucking kicking me out. Whoa, hold on, what? What is going— Okay, hold on. I'm getting kind of lightheaded right now. This is a lot already. Oh. Oh. Okay. I then overhear about how he undoubtedly died once he talked earnestly about the unreleased Mickey Mouse episode existing, and I was genuinely excited. I love Mickey Mouse. I then run home and type in a computer, and I frantically searched up Lost Mickey Mouse episode, and it grasped me to this website, and even through I saw anime tidies and booty bouncing, I still saw the buy on the lost episode Fatal Mistake. I waited about 2 weeks, and then it ultimately would come. What? Oh, hold on, wait, where are we right now? Weren't we at a funeral? At the key point and critical time, The mailman furiously ringed my doorbell, and I cautiously opened the door to instantly see him with the VHS tape. You know what I said about 0 to 100? The story went from 0 to infinity in no time flat. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. I need to wipe. I need to wipe the tears off my eyes. I'm actually crying right now. Holy shit. Okay. Let's calm down. All right. He carefully. Maybe, you know what, honestly, maybe I should change the music because, nah, you know, never mind. I'm keeping the music as is. It makes it scarier. He carefully looked empty, and his face looked pale, and he invariably said, "Please take it," and was terribly shaking. I then take it, and when I carefully closed the door, I heard a possible gunshot, and when I looked outside, he was dearly departed. What? Huh, strange, I naturally thought, to try not to generally think too much about it. When I put it, I had no idea what hell I was about to go through. When it started, the intro started off normally, but when it got to the musical part, it was staticity and terrible quality and in G major. I paid no attention to this because I took it off as a practical joke. When the episode proceeded, it was only Mickey. He steadfastly maintained his fierce eyes properly closed for 18.347 breathless seconds. At that time, he scarcely unclosed, revealing hyper-realist bloodshot eyes. I, by force, was in profound despair. He subsequently closed them again, and it developed dull gray, aggressively going into the flashback scene. Mickey was singing professionally, and he got into his home. When he merely opened the door, he inevitably saw Minnie's clothes everywhere, and some other man's clothes he could not recognize. He then heard moaning. Wait, what? Hold on, what? What is going on? Holy shit, what? My anxious face went pale. No, I couldn't be. I naively thought she would under no circumstances do that to Mickey. At that key moment when Mickey cautiously opened the door, he screamed hysterically, and I could scarcely see the ragged tears shedding down his dull eyes. Minnie! Wait, hold on. Let me do my best Mickey voice. Minnie! How could you? Then Minnie said while sobbing hysterically, "No, Mickey, you weren't supposed to see this." And Mickey said he desperately demanded a divorce. When the court started within 5 seconds, they gave everything to Mickey, and he sobbed passionately. At that point, the flashback ended. That was all flashback? Hold on. He then, with his hyper-realistic, critical eyes, went up to the thing and merely stated prime time to undoubtedly manage the essential tools. The lyrics were so shocking and inappropriate, and it was not good, and it was very scary. Dinner is here. Need to get going now. Thanks for the fun and funny stream. Yeah, no problem, Mr. Shy Guy. I thank you for watching me read all these beautiful pieces of fiction. Okay, so these are lyrics. I'm assuming Mickey is reading it. I don't know. Let me sing this. Blake. Oh my god. Story goes so hard. Maybe actually vomit. Really? Oh my god. Alright, let me read these lyrics. Blank days, I will surely come, everybody. I naturally will get my musketeers from the damn musketeer. Mousiki tetrally kill, Mousiki pitifulness, Mousiki no mercy, Mousiki vengeance, Mousiki laugh. I am naturally thinking and solving undoubtedly working through her. Musiki me, considered Musuki all, Musiki doer kill, Musiki me, Musiki all, Musiki doer, all toodles, it's time that I get to it. Sufficiently show me the damn musketeers to help me do it. Miskadeath, Muscady, Muscular. Toodles simply has the effective tools, the musketeers. That's what I fucking need them. Toodles are fucking bring him. He's over here for Meedles and Yeedles, and all I have to say is, oh Toodles. All I must say is, oh Toodles. Damn. Mickey, that went fucking hard. Holy shit. Oh my god. I was genuinely shocked, because I genuinely thought Mickey Mouse was a kid's show, while I undoubtedly did Mickey swear. When Toodles demonstrated what he possessed correctly in Dural, just one extraordinary thing, it was question mark? Mickey said this was a surprise tool that's going to help me later. Then I saw static for 4 minutes. When it ended, Minnie woke up in the lab, chained to the ceiling, and was shocked. Mickey, why am I here? Mickey laughed behind the screen. On that occasion, the cage was put in with the covering. Mickey subsequently had it removed and it revealed 2 rats. The most realistic looking rats were Minnie's nephews. He ordered them to eat Minnie alive, and Minnie crying as hyperrealistic blood poured each until they got into her brain, causing her to die. Mickey subsequently attended school and into a classroom. Who the fuck is Toodles? You don't know the iconic Disney character Toodles from the Mickey Mouse and Friends branding? Fake fan. Fake fucking fan. The class said, "Yay, Mickey!" And Pluto was there. Kids, I am about to teach you some wait, I'm about to teach you some nice You will all together represent planets and notify them to do it right fucking now. When they get the planet outfits on them, Mickey said, "Oh, there was only supposed to be 8. Not. I take care of this." Mickey then shot Pluto dead, and the children got so scared that one of them will never forget about what they perceived. Then Mickey got shocked and said he thought it was a toy gun. Mickey, you do not bring guns into the school, period. Mickey then grabbed one of the kids by the neck and caused a brain explosion, causing blood and brain matter to go flying every and the children and died from heart attacks caused off the brain and blood and brain matter. Did Cool Cat write this story? He has to. This is teaching children an important lesson. Don't bring guns to school. Period. Holy shit. Oh my god, how could Mickey do this? Mickey subsequently began laughing evilly. It was so loud that I bleed from my ears almost. Another author whose ears are bleeding. Authors, protect your ears, please. Goofy was seen walking in fog, and he looked nervous as fuck. At this point, I tried to escape my room, but then this fucking cat locked me in and made it so I could not jump out windows. What? I even tried to smash a TV with a hammer, but that didn't work. I had to watch this. Then Goofy ran faster and slipped on a banana peel. Then he landed gently on a sword, belly first, and he earnestly tried to get away, but then Mickey appeared. He subsequently killed Goofy, and Goofy died tragically from Mickey. Fucked up cat. I agree. At that moment, the fucking bastard came. It was Pete the cat. I don't care if Mickey fucking slices him. Mickey was allegedly chasing Pete, and he tried to get away. Then this motherfucker almost gets away. Then the bastard got fucking greedy and tried to grasp a gold bar with him, in which Mickey then rips out his eyes and his brain, being peace-eyed to no fucking surprise. I genuinely thought Mickey was kind of based for knowingly killing Pete, until Mickey pulled out a fat— Whoa! Whoa! Hold on! Based for unknowingly killing Pete until Mickey pulled out a fascist flag and allegedly said he's the leader of the Mickey world. On that occasion, the Mickeys came out of a portable screen and— oh! What? And jerked— oh, I'm not saying that. And jerked me into the screen. I saw Donald Duck's head on a pike crying hyper-realistic tears, and Mickey in a demonic voice said, "You're next." I frantically began to run more hot, and finally it got until it looked like hell fully. Oh my god! By heart, am I in eternal hell? Mickey then laughed demonically and said my unfortunate soul would under no circumstances be his. What do you mean, allegedly? Yeah. I kept on running until I got intentionally deceived in a corner, and he ruthlessly crushed my sleek head, knowingly causing me to die. However, at that point, he was about to place a fascist flag on my destroyed head. Dreadful mistake! I got extremely furious that I came back alive and was in a T-34 with the Soviet Union flag. Mickey mocked and painted, raining incessantly local people, and when they hit the floor, blood and brain matter would pour everywhere, and I could see people in... Holy shit! And I could see people in gas chambers dying because of gas, and brain matter was all over the tank, and I saw a whole family get their... Holy shit! And then I saw a whole family get their skin slowly ripped apart, and one by one, and it was very brutal. When the skin came off, the one would be with the when the skin came off, the one by the would implode, and they would cry. Hyperrealistic blood poured everywhere. He tried to explode prematurely the tank I was in, but he failed, and when he tried to drench me in lava, oh my god, but luckily for my tank had a helicopter thing that made it fly and catching Mickey off guard, hit him causing bones, muscles, and brain matter to scatter everywhere. I then got kicked out and thrown back into my room, and the TV said, "Thank you for killing that asshole Mickey." I was never the same. I contemptuously called 911 and overwhelmingly showed them the junk, and they were revolted. The creators of Mickey Mouse the Clubhouse were arrested, or some of them already killed themselves with a used shotgun, and that's why they ended the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse show. I then set it on fire, and then smashes it with hammer, then putting in acid, making sure the demon is dead forever, and inadvertently causing it to go away forever. I warn you, please do not try to watch it. Please do not, though. I went through because it will radically change you forever. I have been so sad and scared for this, and I even tried to kill myself, and I failed, only hurting myself. Then, the next week, I was stabbed in the heart. Don't look behind you! Boo! And then a skeleton popped out. Do not laugh at this story. Please be respectful. This isn't a troll pasta, but real events. Fake ass. Okay. Hold on. Oh my god. Let me blow my nose. Let me mute myself real quick. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Holy shit. Authors are communists. Yeah. Good on them. Damn, I actually like this. This is one of the best I'm Dead troll pastas that didn't suck. I gave this 10 out of 14 stars. Yeah, what the fuck is this story? Goofy I give this 3 stars. Sure. This is hard to read. Holy shit. Okay, so I did not read through this story. Like, I was just skimming through some of it, and I was like, okay, I think this is good enough for me to read. Wow. I was not expecting any of that. Like, executed by something. But you know, in all seriousness though, everyone pray for the author. They just went through a really horrific moment in their life. Please be respectful, and let's not make jokes at their expense. Hope that makes sense. I think, gosh. last time I tried to pray to God, it made me do something horrible. Pray, okay. Uh, um, I think this will be it for this stream. I mean, because like, I mean, this is the last story anyway. I'm obviously gonna end the stream with this story, but like, how can I even follow this up? Like, it was pure happenstance. The last story happens to be the most fucked up one by far. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, uh, thank you so much for watching my stream. I hope you are happy with what I've read to you all today, and I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. And everyone, please pray for the author of the story. Please pray for him. You have a good night, and take care. Bye. Holy fucking shit.